4 reasons I use Paperly. Hi everyone, and welcome again to another episode of Tech Help for Churches. My name is, of course, Paul Allen Clifford, and I will be your host today. And I'd love for you to join the conversation by heading over to trinitydigitalmedia.com/contact. And you can leave a comment, question, snide remark, what have you right there, and I'll be happy to get in touch with you. Or you could also use any of the contact information that I have listed, and you can interact with me as well. So before we get started, I did want to just talk about 2 brief things. First off, let's talk about my streaming provider, churchstreaming.tv. Churchstreaming.tv provides all the streaming and the bandwidth for the churchtechcast.com network, and I could not be happier with them. They have just added a new feature. It seems like every week I'm talking about a new feature that they've added, and that's just one of the great things about them is they are so quick to add new features, things that you'll actually use too. Like, for example, the latest feature is an MP3 download. So after you're done with your service, if you want to download the MP3 and then upload it to your media host, bada bing, bada boom, you have a audio podcast and you've done nothing extra really other than download and upload. So that's a really cool feature that they've just added, along with the Roku channel, iOS and Android streaming, countdowns, maps, etc., etc. And I think that you will be really pleased once you give them a shot. So head over to trinitydigitalmedia.com/church streaming. Also, I want to talk about my pastor's book. Something really exciting happened yesterday. It was #1 on Amazon in Christianity, briefly. Now it's down in the 80s in a specific category right now, but as of yesterday, it was up there pretty high, and I was really pleased to see that. And that's just because of the quality of work that my pastors put into it. You might know that I've published 3 books. I've actually written 6, if memory serves. Yeah, 6. And he has just grabbed his entire team around him, and they have put in all kinds of work to make this the best it can be. And if you really like my Eternity Changers series, you'll like What Life Are You Waiting For? I heard another one of the chapters read over this past weekend, and it's just truly great, great stuff. So head over to trinitydigitalmedia.com/whatlife. The graphic says What Life Book, and for some reason that redirection isn't working, so I'll have to look into it. What Life will take you there, or if you're seeing this probably after February 18th, 2014, What Life Book should work as well. So that's just a great resource for you that I would strongly recommend. So let's start talking about Paperly. Now, you might have seen Paperly links on Twitter, maybe on Facebook, and wondered, what is this and why do I keep getting mentioned? Well, Paperly is a service that I use. This isn't a paid endorsement, by the way. This is just a service that I use to help me do a few things that I do on Twitter and help me do them better. So let's talk about 4 of those reasons why I use Paperly. Reason #1, it enables me to automatically engage with my audience by mentioning good content. So I have over 21,000 Twitter followers, 21,000 847 last I checked. Could be higher, could be lower, it fluctuates. So over 21,000 Twitter followers, so I can't read everything that they tweet. Well, Paperly automatically keeps track of all those and once a week publishes a paper, that's what they call it, of the content that is best that I might have missed. So it publishes that and then it mentions people who have written those in this weekly tweet. So I'm automatically mentioning people that are doing good work, and I love that, and it enables me not to spend all the time looking through all the great content for stuff that would be of interest to my followers. Uh, Secondly, and I mentioned this kind of in passing, but it helps me find stuff that I've missed. So you can imagine that there are all manner of good things that are coming up in my Twitter feed that maybe they're coming up when I'm asleep, maybe they're coming up when I'm recording a show like I am right now, or some other time, and yet I'm just not seeing them. Well, because Paperly is always looking for the best content, the content that gets the most engagement, that's best for my audience, that kind of thing. Well, as a result, it brings it to my attention. So that's a great reason to use it. By the way, it's free. You go to paper.li.com and you can sign up to use Paperly there. And I think that you'll be happy that you did. Third, it helps highlight the kind of content I've built unintentionally. So, what I mean by this is I follow a lot of people, and sometimes I have made a mistake in who I followed. Maybe they were a spammer and I followed someone else's followers and I realized, oh, that's just someone who randomly followed them and I'm getting all kinds of spam. And it helps highlight that for me. So not only does it help surface the good content, it shows me where I've made mistakes and helps surface the bad content as well. So it's kind of both a good and a bad thing there, but that helps me get better and helps me cull down uh, just the people that I'm following that maybe I shouldn't be. And finally, it looks like I've put a lot of effort into doing something cool that I haven't actually put a lot of effort into doing. So what I mean by that is I just signed up, I logged in, and set it to go and it's done. And yet, when you look on the link, it looks like I put a lot of time into designing it. It looks like I put a lot of time into curating this content and deciding what is the best stuff for all of you there in Twitterland to see. And I haven't. So this actually multiplies my effort. It makes it look like I've done a lot of work that I haven't done. And let me just tell it to you this way. Every week I get thanks from people for mentioning them in my Paperly feed, and I haven't touched that sucker to tweak it or do anything in months. So I get credit for something that I set into motion, but I didn't actually do any work on. So it's it's kind of just a win for me when I didn't do anything, and it doesn't even cost me any money. It's not that, well, I didn't do anything, but I paid someone to do something. No, I'm not even paying anyone to do it. It's all automatic and free. Now they have a paid version where you can do more work, do more massaging of the content and all, but for what I'm using it for, the free version is perfect. It's beautiful. It surfaces just the content that either shows me I've done a good job in who I'm following or I've done a poor job in who I'm following. and it also interacts with some of my followers by mentioning them for their content. So these are all great reasons to use it, and it's just one of the services that I use to kind of increase my reach, increase what I can do on Twitter, because quite frankly, I could potentially spend hours and hours on Twitter every day interacting with people, surfacing great content, reading what they tweet, etc., etc. And I just don't have to because of what Paperly does. So I think that that is really a win-win for both my audience and for the uh, people that are tweeting out good things. So I hope that that helps you. I hope that you can think, I think I might want to give this service a try. Now, there are other services that I've tried that are not very good, quite frankly, but this one is something that I've been pleased with the results of. So go ahead, give it a try. As I say, this isn't a paid advertisement or anything, it's just something that I've used and I've found that it works well for me. So give it a shot, see if it works well for you, and it might actually bring about more interaction. You might find some stuff that you didn't know, and it might help you to go out and change eternity. Till next time, when we'll talk about 5 features that every church website needs. That'll be next Monday on Tech Help for Churches. Tomorrow on Creating Church, I'll be talking about getting ideas. Wednesday, I'll be talking about 5 things I've learned from exercise. Thursday, I'll talk about running cables in historic buildings. And of course, Friday is your questions, all at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific on churchtechcast.com. So until then, I'm Paul Allen Clifford with TrinityDigitalMedia.com. Go out and change eternity.